finished fourth in the event. The co-drivers also did well in the event, with the Mitsubishi Evos, driven by Simon Arthur and Blaise Paris, coming in as the top two. Melbourne's Mark O'Connor also had a quick run in his Lotus Elise, but the hill climb had its moments. For some, before it had even started, as co-driver Nicholas Box found out.
What happened?
I pulled the gear stick out.
Your car?
No.
Oh, so now you got to tell him.
Yeah.
What are the first words going to be?
Sorry.
But one thing was for sure, everyone was doing exactly what the organisers wanted, and that was having fun. On day one, there were two Motorcana events at different locations. One at Wanneroo Karts and one to finish the day off at Pat Goodrich Car Park. At Motorcana events, the drivers get a countdown and then try to get through the course as quickly as possible and really let their tyres do the talking. At Wanneroo Karts, the best time of the day didn't come as a surprise. For the drivers, Mark O'Connor impressed the crowds in a time of 47.58 seconds. Now with the gear lever back in its right place, Warwick Gates in the hot Mazda MX-5 Turbo came a close second in 47.69 seconds. And Alex Frederick in a Subaru WRX came in third at 47.77 seconds. There were only two runs that beat the 47-second mark, and they were both by co-drivers. Blaise Paris delivered 46.93 seconds, and Simon Arthur 46.96 seconds. In the car park Motorcana, things got even faster, with all trying to beat the magical 30-second mark. Another regular Dutton Rally competitor from the East Coast is Samantha Stevens, who was pushing the car and her patience to the limit. You see, going flat out to get a good time through a Motorcana stage is hard enough. But when you hit a witch's hat...
No! Oh! Idiot!
You get an additional time penalty.
If you wanted drama, you got it then.
Martin Nataris and Alex Fredericks were the only two drivers to beat the 30-second mark. Nataris in 29.97 and Frederick in an amazing 29.9. With the co-drivers, Simon Arthur spun the times of the day with 29.74 and 29.79 seconds. And it was about now that the other competitors were cursing the guys who did such a great job getting Car 7 back on the track so quickly. The national champs were looking pretty good. Even though there were a few mishaps along the way, most of the teams were happy to see the day draw to an end, so they could hit the pub and talk about the excitement of day one. It even ended on a high for Murray Coates, who managed to get his Mini back on track in record time.
Mini were fantastic. We just dropped in there and they replaced the bearing and away we go. So we're here for more. We're ready.
So what was their verdict on it?
Their verdict was they thought that there was possibly the nuts were a bit loose. So we'll see.
Which ones? What about the ones behind the wheel?
Yeah, they were very nutty. Yeah. No, look, we're organised. But yeah, they were pretty sheared, as you can see. So yeah, we're just thankful for Mini for getting it back on the road so quickly, so we can get it back out here again.
At the end of day one, the drivers' leaderboard had Alex Frederick in his 2000 Subaru WRX in the top spot with 33 points. Danny Chero, also in a Subaru, was second, and proving that you don't need four-wheel drives with monster blow-off valves to be competitive, Mark O'Connor in his Lotus Elise was third. Blaise Paris in the Mitsubishi Evo 8 was at the top of the ladder for the co-drivers with 16 points, followed by Peter Gazard in the Lotus Elise and Chris Lim in the 2000 Subaru WRX. And on the tyre front, it seemed inevitable that Chris Caruso's big Jag would definitely need some more rubber on the rears for tomorrow. Day 2 of the Alphera Dutton Rally, and it was a fantastic summer morning in Perth. However, it wasn't just the temperature that was rising. With 3 locations for the day and 2 lots of 5 events, the competition was really heating up. Event organiser Anthony Moss was thrilled with the Western Australian response to this inaugural event.
Yeah, some great cars here. Normally get a lot of Porsches and those sort of cars in the rally, but we've got a lot of Evos and WRXs and got some old Triumph TR8s there and lots of different cars. It's great.
As far as the National Series is concerned, it's now gone to 4. That's really big for it.
The event's huge. We're the fastest growing form of motorsport now in the country. Obviously we've got the full series now with New South Wales coming up next, then Queensland, then Victoria. We've already got close to 20 cars in the National Series and entries are still open. Jump on the website duttonrally.com, download an entry form and come and have a play with us.
Why do you think it is one of the fastest growing?
I think that the key to our event is that it's safe, enjoyable, it's fun. All you need is your own road registered car and you don't need to modify it to an extent like some of these race cars going around. It's not expensive. That's one of the other great things about the event. And really it's just the most fun you can have sitting down, as they say.
As the teams prepared for another day on the road, the leading crew of Daniel Carson and Blaise Paris seemed very relaxed.
Blaise put in some fantastic times and I think I put in a reasonable time or two, and luckily in the end we just ended up with a good result at the end of the day. I think, yeah, we're happy with it. Definitely happy with it.
Blaise happy with day 1?
Very surprised, but had a blast. Good fun, good fun. Dan's been kind enough to let me drive his Evo this weekend, and it's an absolute rocket ship. Really fun car to drive, having a ball.
So what's it like leading at the end of day 1 going into day 2?
Oh, I've never been there before. To tell you the truth, it's fantastic purely because we've got our best friends who we do the racing with sitting 2 points behind us on the standings, and even better, well, Martin Ataris, another friend of ours, is behind us.
The conclusion of the mandatory morning event briefing saw each group heading to their respective events. One of which was at Northam, the major town of the Avon Valley. It's Western Australia's second largest inland town and the commercial hub for the area's rich farmlands. Situated just over an hour's drive from Perth on the Great Eastern Highway, Northam made the perfect location for the Day 2 hill climb.
Worth the drive out here?
Well and truly, yeah, it was great.
Worth the drive. Organisation, brilliant.
Was it worth the drive out here?
Yeah, good trip.
Although, not all competitors felt the same way.
Worth the drive out here?
I'm not sure yet, we'll have to see.
Worth the drive out here?
Oh yeah. Thanks.
Oh, did you get that? Hey, where'd you learn to drive?
Keep in mind, for some, it had been a late night, followed by an early morning, followed by a long drive. The Mount Omni hill climb, just on the outskirts of Northam, is a tight little track that's regularly used by WA motoring clubs. But there were cries of sabotage in the ranks, with the all-girl team of Samantha Stevens and Simone Backman getting a puncture on the way to the location.
We just found out though we'd been sabotaged. There was a big dirty hole in our tyre and we just had to change it by the road. The boys are scared of us. They're intimidated. They're so frightened. They've got to resort to dirty tactics.
But will they be penalised for the second tyre change?
Now that's a penalty with changing tyres.
It is, but we did ask the official and he came down, took one look at the tyre and said, oh my God, change it and I'm going to find the guy that did it.
Motor Magazine's Dean Evans was surprisingly confident.
Nervous?
No, I actually want to be like my famous racing hero Martin Ataris and try and bash into a wall.
How did you go this morning?
Yeah, it's doing all right. We've got the diesel Volkswagen pumping. We've got a few deliveries of milk, newspapers and mail this afternoon, so we better rush up the hill.
Although the top 12 hill climb positions were primarily made up of four-wheel drive cars, the Germans had a presence, with Paul Summers in a 2004 Porsche GT3 and Laurie Burton in a Porsche Boxster. Both cars were consistently quick up the mountain, but unfortunately, Laurie incurred a penalty for missing a gate, and that put him back in the field after his second run. Another team who obviously enjoyed Mount Omni was the father and daughter team of George and Carly Eames in their R33 GTR.
Excited?
Terrified.
What are you going to watch out for? What's the corner that you're worried about?
Everyone, every corner, and those FBRs.
And are you going to take it easy, or are you just going to give it hell?
Middle of the road.
George came third and fourth on his two runs, whilst Carly was sixth and ninth in the co-drivers. So the quickest times on the mountain for the drivers was Jamie Lister with 31.41. And with the co-drivers, Blaise Paris had a ripper run of 32.56 seconds. While half the crew were battling Mount Hominy, the others had a leisurely 15-minute drive to the Perth International Airport precinct for 3 of the day's events. One person who was looking forward to the driving test was Chris Caruso in the J. The big car didn't handle the hill climb as well as he would have liked, but now he will really have a chance to throw the beast around at AHG. So as the promotional girls obviously knew something that we didn't, we decided to catch up with Chris to find out a little more about this once docile gentleman's car.
No, it's just a car that I've built up, Glenn, over the last few years in between everything else that's been happening in my life, and it's a car that I specifically built up just to be something a bit different. It's actually running the trusty old Holden, fuel-injected Holden. It's been stroked out to 5.7 litre, so most people be familiar with the VN 5-litre engine. That's what it's based on.
Now, Chris, when I first saw it go around, I figured you were the co-driver and you didn't own the car.
Yeah, I've got a bit of probably an unwarranted reputation for driving it like it was stolen, but I would like to say there's a gentle way to drive a car hard, but no, look, it's built pretty tough, and it probably looks slightly harsher than it is, but it's still pretty harsh, yeah.
Now, tyre, what's the tyre count at the moment?
Mate, tyres, I really need a tyre sponsor. Well, I think we're going to be looking at about 3 sets of rears by the time we finish.
The AHG Driving Centre is a world-class, purpose-built driver training complex. Ideally located 12 kilometres from the CBD at the Perth International Airport, it's set on over 30 hectares of land and is regarded as one of the best of its type in Australia. The complex comprises 6 purpose-built areas, providing a safe and secure environment perfect for the 3 auto tests to take place here. To tell us more about the centre, we caught up with Ryan Palazzolo.
AHG Driving Centre itself, this venue has been here for about a year. We do mostly a lot of D-Tech driving, which is defensive driving. We do forklift, truck, anything with wheels and a motor we tend to train. We have guys coming down with the Tiranas all the way up to the Ferraris and the Porsches. Such a wide spectrum of people and really great crowd. This has been set up by the Duttons today. So what we have is 2 courses actually on the major circuit, and we have 2 skid pans incorporated into one smaller event there.
Yep. 3, 2, 1, go!
The first of the auto tests will utilise the main 1.6 kilometre track, with the remaining auto tests